Hi, my name is Barry. Welcome to Joe Daddy's Garage. I'm going to do some welding on this classic Mustang with the MIG 205 DS. Let's get started. Well, I'm doing MIG welding on this cross member. I had to modify it to make clearance for the oil pan for the new engine. Sometimes when you intermix aftermarket parts, stuff just doesn't work together. So in this case, I had to trim this, change the angle, and now I'm welding it back together to make it solid again. So what I've done in the past years, I've angled this piece down, and you can see I've got tack welds that are holding it in place. It's always convenient to have tack welds to make sure things aren't gonna pull away from you. So I've already welded this section right here. I could come over and change locations just to dissipate heat, but in this case, this metal is so thick, it really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna continue on with the weld. Welding is kind of an art form. So when you're doing this, you want to have a nice finished product that looks nice and does a job. So this metal is a bit thicker, so I'm having to be careful with how much heat I apply because I want good penetration and a good solid weld underneath. I'm swirling the rod or the tip here so that I can draw the heat up and down to each piece. And here I've met another spot weld. Now, of course, I'll come back on this and I may grind it just to smooth it up, give it a nicer appearance, but I'm trying to weld this as solid as I can, and I'm going to continue on this side over here. So you can step back and look at it. It's got good penetration, nice solid weld. Maybe not as straight as I would normally do it, but yeah, I know it's burning it in there and making it a solid piece once again. Sometimes you may have to adjust where your clamping device is. You know, in this case, I'm on this side. So, you know, eventually I'll have to move that because I'm gonna make filler pieces to fill in those sides and make it solid. Now, I still have a little bit more to do on this side as well, but I can continue welding straight across there. Well, these welds, because I'm welding basically an edge and I'm using a flat piece joining together. There's a variety of different welds. You can do butt welding and lap welding and stuff like that. I'm just trying to join this main piece to this piece. So it's kind of a joint weld, but it's really a seam weld because they're meeting each other at a line. They're not overlapping each piece. So, you know, whenever you're doing this, and again, this is very heavy steel. You want to make sure your heat setting is right so that you're getting penetration and making things bond together as they should. You know, if you have a too cold of a weld, you're not going to get penetration. You're not going to see this nice burn in like that right there, and it's not going to do the job. So you got to make sure you burn it in and make good contact on both sides. I think it's looking pretty good. It's coming together nicely. Again, I'll probably do some grinding on that just to smooth it up and make it look prettier when it's all said and done, but it's coming along. It's looking good. So whenever you're welding, obviously you need to have a good helmet. In my case, I have some reader glasses just to help me see better. Got to have some gloves, keep your hands protected. It's nice to have a welding jacket to deflect any debris and, you know, have a nice environment to where you've got some air movement, stuff like that. Depending on what you're welding, you really don't want to breathe some of this stuff. In this case, it's overhead, so all the fumes are going up, makes it much nicer. But, you know, make sure your environment's clean. Don't have any kind of shop rags or, you know, dirty stuff around the area that could catch on fire. I have seen that happen. And just be cautious with how you're arranging your shop and making this work. All right, so that's all I'm gonna do on this particular project right now. Maybe some welding tips and tricks for you that you can use on your project. There is more to come. You know, I have more to do on this car. But you can check out my channel, Joe Daddy's Garage. You can also check out Joe Daddy's Workshop where you can see other things that I do. But also keep up with YesWelder and their projects. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.